Hello everybody, and welcome back to my Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. This is thejonnymar. And the first thing you want to do when you get to this mysterious pond within the... within the Pyramid of Power is throw in your bow and arrows, and you will get silver arrows in return. And for those of you that have played a Zelda game before, you need these silver arrows to take out Ganon. Otherwise, you can't really defeat him completely. And that isn't the only thing you can actually get here. You can also throw in your sword, and that will level your sword up to the highest level, the 4th power. Which makes a lot of the enemies coming up in the last 2 dungeons much easier. And you can feel it throbbing with power in your hand. No sexual innuendo at all in that statement. And the last thing I'm going to throw in is my empty bottle. Because the next couple of dungeons, they are pretty magic intensive in terms of items I'm going to be using. So getting the free magic refill is certainly a wonderful item. Now, the last thing I need to do before starting my climb up towards Dungeon 7, also known as Turtle Rock, is to get one more heart piece. The last 2 are going to be up on Death Mountain. And I also need to get one more special item to finish out my set. And that is the Cane of Burnia, I think it's called, or something of the like. Whoa. Not sure how that didn't hit me, but oh well. So go onto this little island here and you can get your heart piece. And then I'm going to use my ocarina to head up to Death Mountain. So sadly, we are approaching the end of this playthrough. I have really enjoyed playing through this game. I mean, I have mentioned this is my favorite game of all time, and you know, that's part of the good and the bad of starting with such a great game for one of my first Let's Plays, is I get to play a truly wonderful game that I really enjoy and know really well. But now I've played it, so I don't really have that to look forward to. But, you know, one thing I could do in the future is, again, try a speed run or maybe try a particular playthrough. In the past, I have done a Bare Essentials quest, where I only get the items that are absolutely necessary to beat the game, and that does ratchet up the difficulty considerably. So I might consider doing that at some point in the future, but certainly not anytime soon. You want to jump off this ledge here, and this will take us to our last special item. Use your hammer and use your magic cape, which allows you to sprint. Now, if you don't want to use your magic cape, you can also just run over the spikes and take damage. There are some items at the end that will replenish your health up to 8 hearts worth. But since getting this item, bam, does restore all your magic, there's really no reason to not use the cape. So we'll just finish this off by sprinting out of here, and then we will be on our way to Turtle Rock. Now, unfortunately, there is no quick way to get up to Turtle Rock. You have to go through this same process every time you want to. So we'll have to head back to the Light World using the path we took to get to the Tower of Hera for the 3rd pendant. And now that we actually have the magic hammer, as well as the Titan Mitt, and also the Cane of Samaria, we can actually access Turtle Rock. So we need to get our way through all of these annoying little enemies. We're going to see a lot more of those little guys running around with the wings. I don't know what they're called. But the next little area we're going to get to has got, see, tons of them. And we can't hit that one for whatever reason. I usually take a couple hits on my way over here. Come here. Ugh. Anyway, lift up this rock and you will see 3 posts. You need to knock down the right one first. then the top one, and then the left one. And you heard the little sound indicating that that was the correct order. If you hit the wrong one, it makes a kind of a sound indicating, nope, that is not correct. And then use your Quake medallion on this little area up here to open up Turtle Rock. And we will get to enter what many people consider the other least favorite dungeon of this game. So, talk to this little telepathic tile here, and Sahasrahla mentions that this will be a magic-intensive dungeon. We do need to use the Cane of Samaria to create little platforms to travel around in the different rooms. And it is very easy to get lost in here, because there are a lot of little side rooms and trap rooms that you can end up getting stuck in. So we'll start by going into this northeast room. Create a platform, and we're going to head south, and you see all those little pedestals, and we have to light them all. So hold up here to hook around, and use your fire rod to light them as you go near them. So we'll start with these two, and we'll light this one on the right, and finally this one. And quickly time yourself up through this door. And now we're going to have some cheese graters up here, so use your magic cape to elude them. And this will get us the map and also a key we needed to advance through the dungeon. Of course, you don't need to use the magic cape here. You can try to time this out and use the safe zones. I am going for speed here, so I don't feel like wasting that time. And you can also just run through them and take damage. I think it only does about 1 or 2 hearts worth of damage. So nothing too overwhelming. Now that room up to the right there at the top is a trap room. Just has a fairy in it. And since we're pretty much well stacked, I'm gonna skip it. And this is where the compass is. Now interestingly, in this room the door closes. You have to be facing away. So charge your sword and that'll let you get out. Our goal is to get to the upper left. Through this door here. Ugh. Skeleton! And now we get these cactus-like enemies that are very reminiscent of a Mario enemy. And if you use bombos, you can take them out in one shot. Otherwise, if you hit them, each little section of their body starts to fly off, and it starts to get faster and faster. We also have Chomp Chomps in here. Another Mario enemy. So you need to push this block over here. Makes a chest appear. Jeez. See if we can get this without getting hit. Sweet. Alright, and now we're starting to see these little passages you have to go through. They're gonna shuttle you around the room. So we go on this little journey. And in the next room, you're gonna have 2 to choose from. So choose the right one first. And the right one happens to be the correct one also. Dodge all these anti-fairies. And we need to kill again that little cactus enemy there to get a key. And then that'll take us to the big key. Ah, Bombos. So great. Gotta love your medallions. The only one I really don't use very much, obviously, is the Quake one. In fact, I only use it to open Turtle Rock. All it really does is, for some reason, it turns enemies into little bouncy enemies, like a different form, and you still have to kill them, so it's kind of a waste in my opinion. So as you might expect, now we need to use that other tunnel, or pipe, so go into the left one. And you have 2 cactus enemies down here. Kill them off with bombos, or through whatever means you feel is necessary. Room to the right is one we'll get to eventually. Head down first, and then to the left, and we actually have to bomb our way outside of Turtle Rock to continue. So dodge these lasers. Jeez. 5 of them. And now we're gonna go for one of the last heart pieces. Hidden kind of in a devious place. You wouldn't think normally to go into a place like this in the light world. And unfortunately they actually changed these enemies in this version too. They used to be the kind from the first dungeon of the Dark World that followed you around when you moved and mimicked you. But now they made them these one-eyeballed ones. So it actually makes it a little bit more difficult because you have to wake them up and then shoot them, and sometimes you miss or hit something besides them. Ugh. Like the stones. Come on, just die. Thank you. Ugh, silly. And that's our second to last heart piece. Just one more to go. And along with the heart we'll get for finishing this dungeon, that'll max out our life meter. So use your cane here, and we will get the big chest, which has the mirror shield in. So now we can actually dodge or reflect back the laser beams. Not that it actually reflects them, it just absorbs them. That is a mechanic that they incorporated into Ocarina, for example, that you could actually reflect stuff back at enemies. Unfortunately, not in this game. Now, the direction we want to go in here is up. You can go to the right here, and this is a bonus room. You have to kill all the enemies, push that top block after they're all dead, and then pull the tongue of the left statue there to advance. And it's a room with a bunch of rupees. Hit the switch. And obviously we're so late in the game that there's really no reason to collect rupees at this time. So I just dodge it. And now this room. Big maze. You have to find a switch to open a door. There's a bunch of fire columns swinging around to damage you. So use this route that I'm showing you. Head up from here. Hook around to the left, and then head down. And here's the switch. Just step on it. That opens the door, and then we need to head back towards the beginning. Hook back around and retrace our steps. And then at the second intersection up here, head north and left, and that'll take you through. Not too terrible, but if you don't know the route, it can be pretty frustrating in that room. You end up going around and around and taking damage the whole time. This is a little endurance test. You don't have the magic cape. Having to dodge that enemy and all those lasers. And if you want to go for those treasure chests, they do have rupees in. Again, not so useful for me. You can also bomb through the wall there to the south, and that'll just take you outside for no particular reason. So let's head back now that we have our key. Use our cape again and head to the left here. And we are actually almost done with Turtle Rock. So let's use our medallion here to kill off all of our enemies. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to have enough time in this video to actually finish off the boss. So what I think I'm going to do is save that for my next episode. So I will get towards the boss here. We just have one more room to go. And in my next episode, we will start off with that boss fight with Trinix. So as always, I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in my next episode.